Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity. Before I start, let's just go and deal with the creeper party we have over here before they cause a lot of disruptions. There we go. So, that last video with the shaders, when I was playing the game, the frames per second, I mean, it was bad. But I realised after I rendered the video, it looked even worse than it did when I recorded it. So sorry about that. I know like the bits here where we went down into the caves were pretty terrible. So yeah, we won't be doing that again, at least not until we've sorted out some of the performance issues. I started to do a little bit of the work on the multi-farm today. I decided that's what this video was going to be about. And I sort of evaluated the position and where it was going to be. I've put this plinth in. This sort of 4x4 block here will represent the top level of the actual multi-farm block, which is going to be a 4x4 machine. I've decided that, and it will be at this height. So what will happen ideally, unless I've completely screwed everything up, is this will be the height that the soil will be on. Yeah, I've gone one layer too high with it, so I need to go down one to be on the same level as this, but that's fine because this is really just a marker to let me know where it's going to be. However, before we can get that finished, I was actually looking through all the stuff that I needed to make, and I realised there's a couple of bits and pieces that I can't actually make yet, because I'm going to need an intricate circuit and a soldering iron in order to configure the multi-farm to work for Pete, because that's initially what I want to use it for. And then I realised that I don't actually have, well, I didn't realise because I obviously already knew this anyway, but I don't have a carpenter, and you need to have a carpenter to make the soldering iron, and I'd completely forgotten about that. I have a feeling that I'd made the carpenter, in my last series, that I'd made the carpenter first, and I think the reason for that, and I'm not 100% sure without going back and looking at some of the previous videos, but I think the reason for that was, in the older versions of forestry, you needed to build the carpenter before the thermionic fabricator, I think. And I believe the reason for that was you need the machine casing, or the advanced machine casing, to make the thermionic fabricator, and you needed the carpenter to make the machine casing, which is not the case anymore. I may be misremembering, but that's the way I thought it was. So I have three things that I want to do today. First of all, I want to build the carpenter. Secondly of all, I want to build the intricate circuit and the soldering iron to configure them. Those are the three things that I want to build. If we have time afterwards, there's another thing that I want to do after that, but we'll see where we get to. So let's go ahead and get to work with the carpenter. Now, the carpenter's a bit of a weird machine because not only does it require power, it also requires water. So I've been doing a little bit of work over here, and I'm not sure whether or not it's going to work with an open blocks tank, but aqueous accumulators are a nice easy way to pump a water source, and open block, they're relatively cheap to make. Open blocks tanks, I had a few of them left over from when I made the tanks for the XP, and decided to use up some of those. So what we've got here, you can see this little sort of C shape that's been chipped out of the cobblestones. We have an aqueous accumulator just below this tank block here, so if it was empty you'd be able to see through. So there's an aqueous accumulator directly below this tank block, and then below these blocks here there is a water source, and that aqueous accumulator just pumps water into this tank that is 3 blocks long. So hopefully that should pump water through, and well, obviously it does pump water through because we can see that here. And hopefully if I put the carpenter on top of this block, it will actually draw water from it. Now, I'm not 100% sure how well open blocks tanks connect directly to machines. That's something we'll have to find out. Down on the floor below, of course, you can see the same tank from the bottom. So theoretically, we can actually grab water from here for something if we need to as well. So let's go ahead and look at building the carpenter. It should be relatively straightforward, and I should actually have the majority of the materials already in the chest, because I did sort of try and go through and make sure I got them. So basically, the carpenter's very easy to make. It just needs 6 bronze ingots, 2 glass, and a sturdy casing. And the sturdy casing is just made from 8 bronze ingots, so it's nice and easy. I made a load of bronze ingots earlier as well. So let's go ahead and make the sturdy casing to start. There we go. And then we want 2 glass. And let's go ahead and use up some of these weird bronze ingots as well. I also need to smelt like lots of copper and stuff before I can actually go ahead and make the multi-farm anyway, to make all the multi-farm blocks. But there we go. We have got our Carpenter. So let's go upstairs. That was a nice and easy machine to make. So let's go and dump that. Now, currently, it doesn't have any power at all. In fact, I just need to nip back downstairs because I've forgotten to bring the pipes. And, in fact, I've made a double mess there because I need a wooden pipe for certain. And I also need a transport pipe as well because I need to go through the hole in the wall. That was up and I wanted down. Should be one in here somewhere. There we go. Just need one of those. That should fix that problem. So let's go and do that. I should have made the hole in the wall first, actually. It might be a little bit tricky to get to it now, but we need to get through there. Nice and easy. We can do that. And that blocks in the way, but I'm sure if luggage gets out of the way, we might be able to get that in. So we're going to shift and click to make sure we don't activate the machine. So there we go. We are now connected up. Now, there'll be no power going to it at the moment because the engine isn't turned on. I do have another engine, because I'd like to get multiple engines here, and if luggage would get out of the way, it would make life a lot easier. Are you going to come, luggage? No. So, oh, you're carrying a lot of junk around as well. We need to sort that out at some point. Let's just go ahead and put this wooden one here, because then I can put the other engine there at some point, which I will do. So now we've got the potential of getting power to go to this. Obviously, this switch here is only going to work one engine, and the engine it's going to work is the far engine. Well, obviously, there is only one engine here, but it'll still pump power into the Carpenter anyway, so that's fine. Bear in mind some of that power is also going into the thermionic fabricator because it's going to heat up now and start trying to melt down the glass. We're not showing any water, which is the problem here. It says it requires energy. Well, we have got the energy on, but it's not actually giving us any water at the moment. So maybe it needs power to gain the water. Not too sure about that one. Let's just have a look. Let's try and deal with our other engine issue. Because I did have another engine. So I've got an engine. I've got a lever. We've even got some peat that we can put in it to get it started. So it'll give everything a little bit more power. We may have to reconsider our water options here. It's still saying that it... oh, it's not saying that it needs power anymore. But it is not getting any water. That is a little bit of a shame. So obviously it's just an issue with the way that the open blocks tank works. So I'm going to have to redo that one. But let's get the power going first. Go through the right doorway. So what we can do, we can get our other engine. And we can put that up here. And it connects up the right way. And we'll go ahead and put some peat in there. And I'll also connect it up with the lever. What we're going to have to do for the time being, because we can't put any water in there from the open blocks tank, which is a little bit of a shame, is I'll just go and grab a bucket or two, and we'll just use buckets of water because it makes life nice and easy. So there we go. We have a couple of buckets. Get rid of that cobblestone. Don't need that in the inventory. Let's just fill the buckets up from this tank here. Of course, we could have used the tank upstairs. That's fine. Let's go up, and we can put these buckets of water into the... where's the other bucket gone? What happened to my other bucket? Could have sworn that I picked both of them up. Apparently I didn't. Oh, I did. I'm sure that wasn't in my inventory a second ago when I just looked for it. Was I actually carrying it all the time and hadn't realised at all? What a dope. So let's put one in. Let's put the other one in. And, yeah, we've got some water in there now. We've got 3 buckets of water. That is probably enough. So the things that we want to build now is the intricate circuit and the soldering iron. So both of those should be relatively simple to build. Let's go and put those back in there. I guess we can release the luggage for the time being. So let's have a let's just go back up to the crafting table because it probably makes life a little bit easier. Now both of these items need to be actually made in the Carpenter anyway. So we need to make ourselves an I'm sure it's an intricate circuit. Let's just have a look. It is, or is it the advanced circuit? Yeah, it's intricate circuit. It was right the first time. So it's basically 3 gold bars and a load of redstone in the Carpenter. Well, luckily I did go ahead and get some gold bars. All of my redstone is actually in the thermionic fabricator, so that's not a problem. So we'll run up to here. We'll just grab the redstone out of the thermionic fabricator, go into the Carpenter, 3 gold bars, get in there. And we will put in the redstone. So there we go. We have a recipe. Right-clicking doesn't appear to do anything at all. Oh, that's just gone and... Oh, of course, the things at the bottom here. There we go. It's this little extra inventory slot down here. It's been so long since I've used the Carpenter, I forgot about that. So what you basically have to do is you set the recipe out in this box upon the top left-hand corner, and then you put everything, all the materials down in this box here. That's going to take a little bit of time to produce. What we can do while we're waiting for that is we can... did we put the lever on the other side for that engine? Don't think we did. Now, the lever is actually where this torch is. So we can go ahead and put the lever there and turn that on. That will actually get both engines running. Should do. Yep, there we go. We now have 2 running engines. It's not quite running at capacity yet. You can see this one's still yellow. It hasn't even gone green. This one's still pretty cold. We'll get there eventually. But so we have water in there now. We've almost got our intricate circuit board. And then after the circuit board, we're going to have to build a soldering iron as well. And the soldering iron, I think, is relatively easy to make. It's 3 iron ingots and a bronze ingot. Let's just go and make sure that we've got all of those things. So, 3 iron ingots and a bronze ingot. Well, we've definitely got a bronze ingot. We just need to go and grab the 3 iron. I've always got iron around somewhere, but I never remember where they are. Got any iron in here? Yeah, got some iron ingots, so that's fine. So let's just go to the correct floor. Oh, by the way, I actually planted these berry bushes. I know someone said that you could plant them on stone. I don't know if they're going to grow in the light, but at least I know I can plant them. I'll leave them for a little bit. If they don't actually start growing, then obviously I'll put them somewhere dark. But the issue with having a dark room is obviously stuff spawns in it. Although I may have a dark room because I may have a moistener at some point, or a fermenter. So we'll have to see how things go with that. This is the wrong floor again. So back up to the Carpenter. So I'm going to have to sort the water issue out. That's probably something that I will do later on off screen. There's the intricate circuit. Let's go ahead and clear this recipe. We don't need those in there anymore. So the recipe, which I've forgotten. Okay, so it's 3 iron ingots there, and then 1 bronze ingot at the bottom. That puts the recipe in, but then we need to put the materials in the bottom slot. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is working quite nice. This is what I wanted it to do. We'll just wait for that, and then I think we'll have the time left over afterwards. What I want to try and do is, like I had in my old workshop for my tutorial series, is actually have it where all of these engines are connected together on a single switch. And that means we need to make the sort of replacement for the red alloy cables. There we go, we've got our soldering iron. Let's go ahead and take that iron ingot out of there. I will need a little bit more iron, but we'll do that later. So what I should be able to do is, if I click on the soldering iron, and I want to make a manual farm, and I don't actually have all the ingredients I need in my bag. Let me just quickly sleep off the night, because it allows the solar panels to keep charging. Not that any of the machines we're using at the moment are using the solar panels, but that's fine. Tin electron tubes are what is required to make the peat farm, I seem to recall, because that's what it depends on, which type of electron tubes that you use. So we want to configure a manual farm. We want to put in the intricate circuit board, and we should, peat bog, peat bog, peat bog. And now we have a intricate circuit board which is set up for a manual farm for peat bog. So there we go. We've actually got the bit that we need now. Tools shouldn't really be in this chest, but we'll put it there for the time being. So now we've got that. The thing that I want to do now, like I said, is the cables. Now, previously I would have used red power cables, but red power cables or red power wires no longer in the game, because red power isn't compatible with certain of the mods. So now there's a few different options. I mean, we could use red pipe wires, which are quite nice because you can have multiple wires running along an actual pipe. But these are a little bit more complicated to make because they require an assembly table, and that requires assembly lasers and all sorts of other kinds of stuff. So we won't be doing that one just now, but it still has the Project Red transmission. Project Red is basically a sort of remake of Red Power. It tries to do the same thing. And it's quite easy to make these cables. You just need 3 red alloy ingots for shape crafting. And the red alloy ingot is made by smelting red iron compound. And that is made by 1 iron ingot and a load of redstone. So we need 3 iron ingots, basically. I know I've got 1. We could do with a few more. Let's just quickly nip downstairs to the smeltery. Grab ourselves some iron ingots. Also had a few trips backwards and forwards to the lava pits and refilled up my lava buckets. Had to do that anyway because I like to try and get a bit more obsidian every now and then. Whenever I go down low enough to lava, always take a few buckets with me. Empty the water out to get some obsidian and then fill the buckets back up with lava. And I mean, often you only need one bucket of water because you can pour the water down on the lava, wait till it turns to obsidian, pick the water back up and go and put it on another spot. So there's lots of useful things you can do with a bucket if you go mining. So let's go ahead and take that. I don't have enough redstone now. I should have thought about that in advance and picked up the redstone. So let's go ahead and grab this stack of redstone here. Did I just dump that on the floor? Yeah. Apparently. Weird. Let's go over here then, and we want 3 iron. And, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, it'll work. So, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Let's just pick all of... Will you let me pick all of these up this way? No, of course you won't. That would just be too easy. But we have the red alloy compounds, which is fantastic. Let's go ahead and throw those in the furnace upstairs. Let's save the iron as well, because I think that's all that we need. So if this works out for us, we should only need to have a single switch. Wrong floor again. So this is the electric furnace. Let's go ahead and dump these. Do they not stack? Yeah, of course they do. It's just the way I pulled them out. My own stupid fault. There's 1. And 2. And 3. There we go. Right, so now what we do is we go and put these in a crafting bench and we now have 12 red alloy wire. So that's the first step. I mean, this will actually accomplish what I want it to accomplish. So if we go upstairs here, and what we want to do is use this wire to connect all these engines together. So I'm going to go along the top, and I've decided that my my switch is going to be there between the 2 engines. That's where my switch is going to be, and then we can continue this wire along the top, and we can connect that up to the other engine. So let's go over here, back outside. So what I want to do is destroy these 2 levers. And I'm going to put the lever there, which is technically where a torch should be. So I appreciate that's a little bit awkward, but it doesn't really matter too much. In fact, these torches aren't evenly spaced anyway, are they? Because that should be 1, 2. That should be a torch. 1, 1, 2. That should be a torch. So yeah, the torches aren't really evenly spaced. So if we go and have a look out back now. The engines are both off. They have no power. If we go and flick the switch, then hopefully... Yep, there we go. We've now got power going to the wire and both engines are on. That's what we wanted to happen. Now, it would be nice to know whether the engines are on or off without having to go and have a look. Now, obviously, you can tell by the direction of the switch, but I like the little system that I had in my previous workshop, and I'm going to go ahead and try and replicate that with a couple of caged lights. We do have some glowstone dust left over from what I found underground, so we are going to have to go to the nether at some point. But it'd be nice to get some cage lights going, a red one and a green one. So what I want to do first of all is I want a green lamp that will come on when the power is on. So we need a green caged lamp. Now that's going to require some green Illumar, which is easy enough. It's also going to require some circuit plates, which means we need to smelt up some stone. Well, we do have some stone, so that's not a problem. Again, I'm going to end up making this video a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but... it's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and smelt up some stone. That is the furnace, not the macerator. It's just, it sounded like it was macerating. That's why I was checking. So, yeah, we can make that. We need the green luminar, which means we need a couple of green dyes. And we need some yellow glowstone dust. I'm not even sure if I have any green dye. I know I did have some dyes of various colour, but I don't actually have green dye at the moment. Oh, somebody's knocking. So, how can we get ourselves some green dye? Do we just need to find cactus? Or moss? Okay, who's banging on what door? Somebody somewhere is banging on a door. It's you. Hello, fella. Did I not turn that on? There we go. Annoying zombies. Making so much noise. Close that. Thank you. Now I've got another head to add to the collection. So let's add the head to the collection. So, oh, there's luggage in the cauldron again. I can hear him. Well, I haven't found any cactus yet. I haven't found any moss. Getting green dye might be difficult. Green tinted honey. I haven't found any of that yet. Lily seeds, cactus green dye. Green dye, floral green powder, mystical green petal and pestle and mortar. Yeah, it's going to be difficult finding what I want. I just have to go around and try and find something that we can make green dye from. Or we could do a different colour. It doesn't really matter. I think that one still needs green dye. Okay, maybe I'll have to leave that for another time until I found some of the ingredients. But and let me just go upstairs so that luggage gets out of the cauldron because it's an annoying sound. So basically what the plan is going to be is up here along the top, I will have two lights, a cage light. There'll be an inverted red one, which means that the red one will be on when there's no power. And there'll be a standard green one, which means that it will come on when there is power. So I'll be able to tell by flicking the switch on and off whether or not we have power. But that's pretty much all I'm going to get done for today. Obviously, I need to go ahead and sort out the water issue here. I mean, what we could do is just do it with an open blocks tank manually so that I can just bucket water in, but that's a little bit inefficient. It would be nice if we could just pipe the water straight in there. I did think that it might connect straight to the open blocks tank. Maybe it just doesn't work because it's underneath. Maybe it needs to go in through the side or something. Not entirely sure which direction the water needs to come in from for it to work. I'm not sure if it's directional, because BuildCraft pipes never used to be directional, but red power pipes were. So yeah, I'll have to look that one up. If you guys have done this yourself and you've got any tips, if it's just a case of it needs a specific direction or something connected, a specific type of pipe to lead water to it, then let me know and we'll get that sorted out. But I'm going to have to do quite a bit of smelting because I need to get a lot of copper and stuff done ready for the farm, and then we'll be able to build the farm on the hopefully within the next couple of videos. I have learned a little bit more about the sizes of the farms. I do need to go ahead and check which version of forestry we're running, because the oh, by the way, I've got the pure Ceratous quartz crystals now. They have all matured. I'll probably need to make some more of those. The way that the farms work now is they're a lot bigger than they used to be in the older versions of forestry. So the size of a farm now uses the formula. It's 2 times the width of the farm block times 3 plus the width of the farm block. So if we go for a 4x4 farm block, so 4x4 times 2, well, 4 times 2 is 8. Times that by 3 gives us 24, plus the width of the farm gives us 28. So our farm would basically be 28 blocks by 28 blocks. So it's going to be quite big. It would be really nice if we could find some thing that we could make green dye from, because I haven't found any cactus yet. This is the one thing that I have found that is a little bit strange out of all of the exploring that I've done, and I'll bring up the map so you can see what I've found so far, is I haven't found a single desert biome yet. Not even found a hint of a desert biome, so we're definitely going to have to do a bit of exploration there. Other things on the drawing board that you guys keep telling me to do: 1, build a jetpack so that we can use that with the hang glider. So that's definitely something that I will be looking into. But I seem to have a lot of different little projects on the go at the moment, which is good. It's keeping me interested. It's mixing stuff up, not just sort of concentrating on one particular mod pack or concentrating on building one particular thing, even though this multi-farm does seem to be taking forever, and I'm not entirely convinced it's worth the effort. Do we have any iron bars left over? No, I've probably used them all. I know I did have some at some point. We will need iron bars to make the cage lights. but I don't think I have any left, so I'll probably have to go and make some. In fact, did I use them to make the bear traps? Yeah, I used the last ones I had to make the bear traps, which I now only have one of because a creeper got stuck in one, detonated, and took the bear trap out. Bear crap? Could have been bear crap, but it's definitely a bear trap. I also ended up removing them because I was constantly breaking them because luggage was getting stuck in them. So as good as it is having a luggage, sometimes it's a little bit more hassle than it's worth. You can also see when I mouse over certain things that it actually, if I hold shift, it tells me if I get anything from it Mistcraft. So I can see the tree thing there, and see if I hold shift, the icons appear. So it's quite useful. Let's just pick all of this stuff up. Sounds like you... Did I drop that on the floor and you just ate it? Yeah, brilliant. Okay. So, let's just stick luggage out there in the dark, and I will dump all of my rubbish into the various different chests and things that it needs. And I could have probably done this off camera instead of just waffling on for 5 minutes like I am doing now. But, as you've probably realised, that's not the way I do things. So, let's go ahead and drop that. We've got gunpowder. We've got more coal. I will upgrade these to iron chests at some point, and we've got dirt, and that's pretty much everything sorted. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying Feed the Beast Infinity. I am still really appreciative of all the tips and things that you guys are leaving me, and well, we've built 3 more things. Well, if you count the wires, we built 4 things in this episode, so that's not too bad. Certainly feels like we are making progress. I'm always happy when I've finished an episode and we have a new machine or toy to play with, so I think that is fair enough. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.